First question says solve m squared plus 24m plus 63 equals to 0. So this is a quadratic equation and we want us to find the values of m. So first what we do is we find the product of the coefficient of m squared and the constant. So 1 times 63 is 63. Now we find factors of this product. So 63 comes in the 3 times table. It's 21 times 3. And 63 comes in the 7 times table. 7 times 9. So we have to pick that set of factors which when added or subtracted gives us the middle term, which is 24. We can clearly see that 21 plus 3 will equal to 24. So what we'll do is we'll replace 24m with 21m plus 3m and everything else comes as it is. So what we've done is that we've rewritten the equation because if we combine the like terms, it will go back to the original equation. But since we cannot factorize the original equation, so we have to break it down. And now we'll use factor by grouping to further solve this. So factor by grouping means that we split the equation into two groups, and then we find the highest common factor of these two groups separately first. So between m squared and 21m, we have m common. So m plus 21. And between 3m and 63, we have 3 common. So m plus 21 again. Now between m and positive 3, we have m plus 21 common. So when we take that common, we're left with m plus 3 in the bracket. So we put both the brackets equal to 0. One value would be negative 21 and the other would be negative 3. These are your values of m. Similarly, the next equation is m squared minus 16m plus 64 equals to 0. Same steps. First, you multiply the coefficient of m squared with 64. That gives us 64. Then you find factors of 64, which when added or subtracted give us 16. So we know that 8 times 8 is 64 and 8 plus 8 is also 16. So let's just replace 16m with negative 8m minus 8m plus 64 equals to 0. Factor by grouping now. Between the first two terms, we have m common. So m minus 8. And between the last two terms, we have negative 8 common. Again, m minus 8. So now we take m minus 8 common. So it's basically m minus 8 squared equals to 0. So the value of f is going to be just positive 8. That's your answer. Then it says Grace has a bag of marbles. There are 5 red and 7 white marbles. Grace takes out a marble at random and records the color. Grace puts the marble back into the bag and then takes out another marble. Complete the probability tree diagram. So this is with replacement because she's putting the marble back into the bag. So the probability of getting a red marble is going to be 5 over 12 because total marbles are 5 plus 7, which is 12. The probability of getting a white marble would be 7 out of 12. And since she's putting the marble back once she took it out the first time, so the number of marbles are not changing. So the probabilities would also be the same. 5 over 12 for red, 7 over 12 for white. So this is your complete probability tree diagram. Then it says find the probability that the 2 marbles are red. So if the 2 marbles are red, we're going from this branch to this branch. And whenever we go along the branches, we multiply the probabilities. So 5 over 12 times 5 over 12, that's 25 over 144. That's the answer. James has organized a game to raise money for charity at a local fair. He rolls a fair 6-sided dice and flips a fair coin. If the coin lands on heads, the number on the dice is squared. If the coin lands on tails, the number on the dice is cubed. Each person pays 50 pence to play. If they score above 30, they win £1. The game is played 450 times. How much money should James expect to raise for charity? So let's create a table first. This is your dice. This is your coin. So heads or tails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides on the dice. So if we get a heads, the numbers on the dice are squared. So it's going to be 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and 36. Let me separate these as well. Then if we get to tails, the numbers are cubed. So 1, 8, 27, 64, 125, 216. Each person pays 50 pence to play. So total paid is going to be 450 times 50 because they're playing 50 times. So 450 times 50 is going to be 22,500 pence. So in pounds, that's going to be 225 pounds because $1 is 100 pence. Now, if they score above 30, they win £1. So to score above a 30, if we look at our table, this is above 30, this is above 30, this, and this. So there are 4 possibilities of scoring above 30. So the probability of scoring above 30 is 4, and total outcomes are 12. So 4 out of 12, which is 1 over 3. How much money should James expect to raise for charity? So we do 1 over 3 times 450, which is going to give us 150 pounds. So to calculate how much money he'd be raising, we do 225 minus 150, which is going to give us 75 pounds. So this is the amount he should be expecting to raise for charity. That's your answer.